Hello, it's TA Todd, Teacher Todd, and I've got some hints for you for Lab 603. So right out of the study guide, I've went to Lab 603, and it's basically saying that we need to go to the router and verify you can ping the internet. So by default, you should be able to do that. So let's go ahead and go to the router and do that. I've already got things set up, and I don't always like to do that. So let's see if we can destroy everything. We'll just do Control-C and destroy everything, and then we will rebuild it. And I'm just destroying the containers. I'm not destroying the images, I'm not destroying the networks, just the containers. And when that's done, we can just restart by building them again. Build containers, and then it's going to create them, and it doesn't take long. So there we have it. Let's go to our other tab. Actually, I wanted to get rid of that tab. So we're going to go to tab 1, clear the screen, and we're going to do the tmux to create all the windows. So we've got all our windows. Let's go over to the router number 6. Let's look at our route. And I've put in all the wrong addresses. I've put in .66 instead of .6, so you need to fix all of these. And you can do it like command line one at a time. But there's a little tricky thing here. Notice that when Docker Compose creates the different networks, for example, Ethernet 1, it doesn't match up to network 1. It's going to network 3. So that's a little bit tricky. And here's some hints and solution. And I have the generic commands, and I have the specific commands. The reason I say generic is I'm using variables here. I'm too lazy to have lots and lots of the same commands, so I put generic commands here and echo so I can see what's going on, and then I call this function change address, and I pass as variables the interface and the subnet. Okay, so here's the change address function, and it's a nice thing to echo the command, because then you can see in your terminal what command is actually executed. Otherwise, when you're looking at this, you don't know exactly what is being executed. So I have these different commands, and what I do is I call this change address function 5 times, once for each interface. And for each interface, I put what subnet it is connected to. So you actually have to first go ahead and change this information here, and the only way to do that is to look over here. So there's our IP route table again, and if we change the window a little bit, we can see interface 1 maps to 3. Here we have 1 maps to 3. Then we have 2 maps to 1. Then we have 2 maps to 1 here. And then likewise 3 to 5, 4 to 4, and 5 to 2. And then with this magic correct mapping and the magic correct function, then that's my solution. But you can of course do it manually as well. So you can see we've got the 66 addresses, and I can just copy and paste this function, and I put the function into the current process, and then if I wish, I can go down here and I can go ahead and call the function and then look at the route table. And look at that. That was fast. Boom. And then all of the addresses are correct as 6. So hopefully that helped you. And that's it for the short mini lab. Hope you like it. It's IP Route 2 Linux. Very easy to change your addresses or change your subnet mask, etc.